weeklies with 4 each month, hopefully to come. Spawning here in the bottom left side of Essential Protocol. We got our blue Terran players. With the forward are stepping up to the Koreans. EJK.
In the bottom right, as the pink Protoss, it's Dead Pixel's Patience.
Now, you know what EJK stands for?
His name.
Nope. Everyone
is,
just know -I touch things -I shouldn't.
You can't just make an acronym longer by putting hyphens in it.
Actually, you can. It's the same letter. It's off the K. EJK is on Rifkin's shit list still for touching the trophy at Hell It's Boot Time, of course. Not a bad Terra player, and I'm sure you guys have actually seen him plenty of times on Reddit. He is the what did Fear Dragon call him? The GIF Master Terran. Yeah, always posting the little animated images of his StarCraft exploits.
Yes, quite popular.
I am curious how he's going to do versus Patience, though, because Patience, if we're going to be blunt, has not been looking so great.
Yeah, not the greatest, but I don't know. PvT is an alright matchup for Protoss as opposed to PvZ, and while PvP is obviously okay, it is kind of big to... It's a very difficult matchup in general. But PvT is alright, and Patience, while it might not be looking super strong in Legacy of the Void, is still a strong Korean. And I don't want to paint EJK to be like, you know, totally out of luck here, but while the playing field is a little bit more even because it is a new expansion, I still would give it to Patience.
Yeah, I mean, let's not forget, there's that factor of EJK playing on the Korean server, but at the same time, I kind of like this, though. I wish more foreigners would do this, even if they're like, you know what, I'm going to lose. I'm playing against Beyond, or I'm playing against Parting or something. Just the experience you get from playing against these players, it sounds so silly, but this is why you hear a lot of the good players lobbying to have more Koreans on their servers. This is why you saw Lilbao and TLO and others tweeting last year that they were really sad when all the Koreans left Europe, because that was the best opportunity to improve yourself by losing, learning, and playing and getting better against these players. So, again, EJK might walk away here today 0-2, but hopefully at the very least he gets a bit of experience under his belt, more practice playing against Koreans, all that good stuff.
Yeah, is the goal.
But again, I'm not gonna write him off too soon because I don't have a lot of faith. I love Patience to death. I just don't have a lot of faith in him lately.
That's why he didn't play.
Yeah, he's like, I know Rifkin's gonna judge me on the cast. I don't want to get involved with this.
Maybe.
That's totally how Patience sounds, by the way, if you guys don't know. Perfect
yeah, that
impression.
was pretty spot on.
Combination of like a toad dying and like a midget, I guess. I don't know.
Patience has the exact opposite voice.
I know, he's so soft-spoken and he's so gentle.
Yeah. Anyways, so the Cyclone opener for EJK is a good defensive one in TVT and also TVP. Especially if you can get behind a wall, then it just really doesn't have that much trouble. It can be overwhelmed after all, it's a single target unit, but it's such a great defensive setup in the beginning, especially if they're going for a Robo and a Warp Prism initially, you know, not mass gateways, rather some tech, which is exactly what Patience is doing and what most Protoss are doing, trying to get that Warp Prism out as soon as possible, and then maybe adding Disruptors on with the Robo later on. But that's, of course, later on. Oh, Cyclone out in the middle of the map catches an Adept.
Yeah, that'll be a nice kill.
Ooh.
Okay.
Nice save.
But this is still dangerous because this has suddenly revealed the Warp Prism, which is not exactly faster than a Cyclone, so he could actually take this down if he just wants to chase and hopefully get a couple more shots. And even just weakening it like this, though, absolutely worth, but he actually gets the kill thanks to the Cyclone.
Yeah. The Cyclone is pretty damn good against the Warp Prism for exactly that reason there, especially in the middle of the map where you ran out of couldn't run out of range. So that's a bit of a waste of 200 minerals pretty early on in the game. Patience is going to bother recreating it though.
And EJK getting a little bit greedy with the Cyclone. Looks like he might just lose it. No, wow, just barely gonna get out of there with 3 health left.
Wow, EJK going for double starport right off the bat, looking for, I imagine,
Cyclone?
double Liberator.
I mean, this is something that I'm actually quite liking, because EJK is going for a build that we've not seen before. Now, it's too soon and too early to be like, wow, this is going to be a great build, but the potential for this is certainly here, especially with the way he shut down that early harass. But Patience is coming for round 2, and let's not forget, oh, that's right, he's got Colossus and Adepts research. Watch out, guys.
Yeah.
That bug needs to get fixed so badly.
So, this Warp Prism Harass also does need to scout the 2 starboards, because one of the strengths, of course, is that you would never expect this, and if you didn't scout it, then sure, it could be a huge surprise. If you scout it, maybe instead of the Adept upgrade, you get the Blink upgrade, which Patience is already getting anyways. He sees a tank and, noted the Cyclone openers. It's not Liberators, it's Banshees, and, I mean, I wouldn't say, like, mech right off the bat with this, because, it's still not that popular in PvT, but...
Do you think maybe he's gonna go Hyperflight Rotor Banshees? Something
no.
Oh. I did get excited
Maybe.
though for an actual reason. It's the same problem that Zerg have, where Overseers can't keep up with the Banshees. The Observers certainly couldn't either. So the potential speed Banshees could have been really cool.
Yeah. The problem though is that EJK,
I know you can't hear me, but listen. If you research Hyperflight Rotors, you lose this game. I will forgive you for everything.
I mean, a lot of Banshees is certainly annoying, even if with the Observer just right dab in the middle line. The fact that you can't kill the Banshees and they continually grow in number is really quite terrifying, but in general, mech is just not that great in Legacy of the Void. There have been some successful builds with it, but this is such an odd map to do mech on, unless you get a lot of aggression like these Banshees are looking to do.
Zombie growth! Zombie growth!
Man, he's so excited.
He's making up
I'd be more excited if it wasn't, I don't know.
This may end up falling flat on its face and not actually working at all, but I guess for me, one of the big things, again, the speed is really cool to watch. It's unique. It's the fact that he's going mech. I admire someone who's playing the game different, even if it's not going to work well. I just think it's cool that he's willing to try this out versus Patience and not, like, save some jank-ass build that he was hoping to cheese some North American kid with. The overcharge gets popped, but yeah, detection wasn't here initially, so unfortunately the Banshees don't take much damage, and they do fly out of this. Let's not forget, guys, if you've never actually seen mech back in Heart of the Swarm, Banshees can take on Stalkers in fairly decent amounts, because Stalkers don't have that bonus damage versus Banshees.
Ooh. That 1 second cloak.
Duh. Still gonna probably die, though, by the looks of it. No. Oh,
Target Fire, there we go. Of course, upgrading Observer speed if he knew how much he was dedicating to it.
What if even better, this isn't even going to be Hyperflight Rotors? What if this is just straight up battle cruisers?
Or Liberators.
Man, I know Liberators is the one that makes the most sense. Okay, I'm trying to stay away from that though, because I want cool things to happen.
Yeah, I know. I think Patience still hasn't quite confirmed that it's mech. No.
I feel like, but unlike HOTS though, you don't have to play radically different if it is mech. Like what he has is still going to be effective. He'll just want more Immortals and maybe an Archon or two.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, as long as you aren't going a Mass Adept, even though Mass Adepts we see and do okay. Yeah, you want to add in those beefier units such as Immortals and Archon. The Disruptors still do well. Gonna go ahead and Tango here. Just Blink Micro.
Yeah, a little bit awkward. The tank's just trying to siege up on the front lines. The Marines were actually pulling back for reasons of, I guess, fear from the Disruptor, but that just left the tanks wide open. So losing 3 or 4 of those right off the bat was definitely not a good move. Scans to see where the army is. This is not that grandstanding of an army.
No, it's not that scary. On one hand, Central Protocol makes sense for like an aggressive mech player because the distance between bases, especially in these spawn locations, is quite short. But on the other hand, you have the problem of this third base that is quite far away, and mech is having trouble in all matchups just getting enough units to cover 3 bases. And as we see here, that's kind of what's happening. There really aren't a lot of units from EJK. If there was a Warp Prism going into the main or the natural, there really wouldn't be anything to stop it. Or if the army had like 1 or 2 Immortals, I think you could bust through this as long as you target fired the Banshees. So
I'm a little curious on the choice not to get at least 1 medevac though for this. Shuffling the tanks around is hugely beneficial. Also did not know Disruptors or tanks could take a Disruptor hit. You just don't see them made in this matchup ever, so that's kind of a new information on the block, but we do have Archons coming out as predicted.
Yeah, I also like it's interesting to see mech versus Protoss and Legacy of the Void, because it could work in Heart of the Swarm, but there was ways that Protoss basically figured out how to deal with it, kind of universally. And a lot of that way is actually playing like not a Protoss back in Heart of the Swarm, like expanding a lot and getting like a lot of units early on and pressuring, as opposed to what they usually did in Heart of the Swarm, which was turtle and take their expansions kind of slowly. Oh, Banshee for Disruptor, not bad.
did a surprising amount of damage at the last second. What the hell?
Yeah, but in Legacy of the Void, Protoss already wants to expand faster. Like, that is them in Legacy of the Void now, so it's like, I don't know, I feel like almost Legacy of the Void Protoss would do better against mech, Heart of the Swarm mech, which is, well, not too different, like tanks and Hellions.
Banshees have been not super great so far, but still not dead, so not bad. There's really not a lot of anti-air. Stalkers are going to give chase on the wrong side. They could actually probably go over and take on that cannon if they were fully repaired up, but not give the opportunity for time being. This is something we saw a lot of in the beta, the Night End versus top. Adepts just get on top of the tank, and it's going to be really nasty as the Hellbats just don't have the damage to tear through these. The army busts in, and EJK just kind of flops over like a wet noodle, man. Oh my god, GG.